inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, 'cause real women don't bitch, no. Real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because mental muscle is necessary for implementing successful business strategies. It's time to learn how to beat your business no matter what life throws at you. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we discuss the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. Grand rising queens and to the kings who happen to tune in. Yay, we're back for another episode of the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. And let's see if I can keep this one sweet and simple. Do you take your attention to detail for granted? You probably do. And that may be because people around you haven't necessarily appreciated your gift. But if you pay attention to how you function in your business and your client relationships, this is probably what they absolutely love and adore about you. So I'm involved in different communities, right? And every once in a while, I have to pull myself back and realize that while we can support one another and I can give advice or input, I don't necessarily need to say things to people because they won't understand me and they've assigned and subscribed to a particular coach for a particular reason. And that gift that I have, that extraordinary attention to detail, happens to be mindset. I don't know what yours is, but hopefully you'll learn something from me by me explaining what I'm talking about by utilizing myself. You are the #1 unique identifying factor in your business, and how you show up and you perceive information. That is the distinction between you and everybody else. So for instance, with me, a person could do something like this. Matter of fact, a client did it to me recently. I asked them to answer some questions, and the type of questions I had them answer were centered around their self-worth and what would happen if people lost them as their, product and or service provider. And the reason why I was doing this is because they were going through an upgrade with their pricing. And a lot of people will just work with their clients and say, how much is it worth? That's how much it's worth. Then why you ain't charging that? Okay, then just charge that amount. And for some of us, that works, just to have a coach call you out on your shit and say, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Stand up in your power. And then bam, they go. But other people, it doesn't work. And a lot of individuals, they don't even really know whether or not it does. And they'll just tell people they have mindset blocks. And I can't stand that. When a coach can't seem to get something done through a client, you got a mindset block, you got a money mindset block. It's like, yeah, but you don't know how to do surgery and remove it. And so anywho, I'm having this conversation with a client. And so my spidey senses, I feel energy. They're always up to the umpteenth degree. So I say to the person, I'm like, okay, yeah. So how did the assignments make you feel? Oh my God, I'm just like such a blessing. I'm a kick-ass, blah, 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 blah. And my worth is so amazing. I'm like, yes. Are you feeling good about basically doubling that price point? They're like, absolutely. I deserve this and it's still not enough, and so on and so forth. And I say, great. So when is the notification going out to the clients about the price change? And this is what I love about Zoom calls, because her face immediately distorted, and that confidence, it went down just like that. So for me, talk is cheap. People say things all the time, and her intentions were in the right spot. She was like, yes, I'm confident. Yes, I get it. But the actual initiation, executing on that thing that she said, that's where the block was at. And so we ended up having probably about a 20-minute dialogue behind whether or not she was seeing herself as the #1 unique identifying factor in her business, and how her extreme attention to detail stood out in the way that she facilitated her services and so on and so forth, and why that was more valuable in addition to this energetic connection that she has with her clients. And so for you, that's probably part of your problem. That thing that you do, you take it for granted. point. You don't even realize that it's a superpower. You don't recognize that a lot of extraordinary people, even though they're extraordinary, still don't do what you do. And so how much greater will you be as a person when you step into that? So for me, a lot of times I could be on mastermind calls, group coaching calls inside of communities, and my spidey senses always go to mindset. It's very rare that somebody will bring up something and I will go straight to strategy. I'll be like, oh, so you're asking about raising your rates, or you're asking about how often you should email. You're asking about whether or not you should DM people. And I'm like, okay, well, when you get ready to do it, what doubts or thoughts pop up in your mind? I like automatically go there first, because it's more important to know what you're thinking and why you're thinking it, because I could easily say, oh, that's not the best strategy, or you shouldn't do that way. Oh, hell yeah, go message them. But if I start asking questions, then I may find out the reason why you're feeling reservations is because you're warring with being misunderstood. You are trying to unlearn spam techniques. And so there's a natural thing inside of you that feels like you're moving too quickly, and maybe you are, or you need to change your verbiage or your wording. There's always layers to dig deep. And those of us who are the best coaches, not only do we ask the best questions, we ask them at the right times, and we learn how to peel back the layers and ask even more. Yes, I do give directives, but more than anything, I unpeel the layers of what people are thinking. That is my extraordinary power. That is how I do everything with my clients. I pay extreme attention to detail, to mindset. And for you, it could be extreme detail to language. For instance, like if you help people publish books, you might be like, hey, you wrote down the St. Louis Arch, but don't take for granted everybody knows what the arch is. Paint the picture, talk about the arch, give more description, so that it connects with this whole, message that you're trying. You get what I'm saying? You will pull things out and then help people write a more extraordinary book that is more lifelike, where people can see and feel and grasp the concepts. One of my clients is a dog groomer, and there's something about her being able to really pick up on the energy of the pet and harness that thing without putting them in some kind of fucking harness or giving them some type of sedative or muzzling them, because she believes that all of those are inhumane ways to treat pets. And so your extreme attention to detail in the way that you show up and you show out for individuals, that's part of the reason why you should be charging more for what you provide, for the services or the products that you provide, because you're not just doing standard everyday stuff. You don't just do cookie cutter itch. You've got an edge, and you're not capitalizing on that edge. You are walking in the essence of your worth, and then making sure you're paid accordingly for that edge. So that's your nugget for today. If you have excellent attention to detail, if you may even be a little bit extreme with it, start looking at how you identify with that as being an extraordinary provider in your market, and make sure you're charging accordingly. If you've heard what I've said and it makes sense, but you're like, yeah, like you said, August, you deal with those mindset hurdles that come attached with not necessarily being able to do that. No problema. Go to www.workwithaugust.com. Look at the case study where I talk about some of the blocks that people have with attracting higher paying clients. You like what I'm talking about? Then let's hop on a call with each other and let's talk about how we help you explode into your next level, so that you can start getting paid what you deserve in your business and make the kind of money you're supposed to make. All right. I love you guys. I am out of here. Till next time. Deuces.
Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.